Welcome, everybody. John Zegar. Good afternoon. Welcome. 2:15. I don't know what day it is. Tuesday? Let's go with Tuesday. Here on the eastern slope of Colorado. Kind of a cloudy day today. I don't know what's up with that. Actually, we were supposed to have like 2 hours of snow this morning. I didn't see it, but anyway, they indicated that on the weather report. I'm at home. I'm just getting set up here. I got my earbuds in. I've got a little bit of coffee. You know, it's the half caffeine thing from this morning. And I'm drinking a little bit of that. And I broke down and bought, what is this, a can? 16 fluid ounces, 1 pint of Coca-Cola. I don't know. I'll put it down here on the floor so I don't spill it. I just sip on that from time to time. Hope everybody's fine. I'm kind of here at home cooking. Cooking dinner for tonight. Some spaghetti. Need to get some carbs in my body. And so I'm trying to do that. I've been reading. Read a book yesterday. Ordered the book. Read the book online. And it's by Stuart Wilde. Right? Great book. It's called Miracles. And I jotted down a couple notes here. He has another, how do you say it? He has another program. You know, we're kind of going through all these different people's programs on how to heal yourself. I'm beginning to find out, I am finding out, that I'm going to move some stuff around, you guys, so I'm going to kind of be shuffling things as we're talking. But there's a fair amount of people that have various programs for self-healing. I think that's kind of interesting. They're all, well, I don't know. They all seem to have basic similarities, right? So I'm going to try to, I actually read his book twice. And I'm going to go through some of it and hope that I recall other parts of it as I'm going through this. But he talks about, in his book on miracles, that we are creators and we create miracles. And a lot of people don't believe in miracles. And there are people who know how to move their energy around in order to create or attract miracles. That's pretty honest. I believe that was in that book. And, you know, I'm just going to throw bits and pieces out to you guys. It's not in any sort of order. I mean, he had a step-by-step process, but I didn't take the time to write it down. It would be volumes or pages, but he talks about beliefs and perceptions, and that we get a lot of what we have, our abilities, through our beliefs and perceptions that we learned or were given to us years ago when we were little kids, before age 6. So he's on the same page that everybody else is with that. Doesn't talk about genetics in terms of we get our abilities and our illnesses and our wellnesses as a result of genetics. He does make an interesting point, is that we continue to live on in spirit. Nothing new, we keep hearing that over and over again. Some people call it spirit, some people call it soul. And he's pretty much advocating the same thing. He says before we came into the world, we had a choice to design our life. Well, I believe it's the Catholic faith talks in terms of God designs our life and knows every single thing that's going to happen to us all the way up to the moment of our death, and somewhat designs. So in other words, here's the interesting part. A person might say, this is just general, please don't. A person might say, why did I not design my life in a richer family, in a more affluent family, and I was much more attractive or handsome or athletic or intelligent or lived in a better neighborhood, different culture, different part of the world. And it sort of has to do with, and according to what he's saying, that our perceptions and beliefs continue to dictate the direction that we're going, moving our energy along. Okay, now the other part is that everybody knows this part. Everything's energy, animate, inanimate objects. And as we learn to master the energy, us, everything else, as we learn to get our frequencies matched up to various things, places, people, and our energies become like kind, we can get closer to performing the miracles and the healings and the self-healings. Here's a really interesting thing I picked up yesterday. Let me see if I can get this correct. How did that go? Talks about our energy and just having the ability to control and refine and get in balance with and in harmony with and in congruence with our bodies, our minds, and our souls with a greater intelligence that is inside of us. There was another part to that. The other part was that, and this he said you might have some problems with, is that most people, if you believe in God, whatever your faith, religion, whatever that happens to be, for the most part, people view that as God is out here, outside of us. It's, he's in the world, he's in heaven, he's people generally don't view God as inside of them or their body. Now, if you look at all these programs we've been going over this past couple weeks, all the different programs, they're all alike in the fact that they talk about, and these are just general words from wherever, we are divine, we are God, we are powerful, we are supernatural, God is inside of us, God is a part of us, all those kinds of references. All these programs talk in terms of greater intelligence, being God, source, whatever you want to call it, is actually inside of us. And learning how to perform miracles, healings, we need to get our energy in line with and in balance with the greater intelligence that's inside of us and get our wills to match its will and be on the same page of he used the word purity. We have to have purity of thought, purity of emotion, purity of action. I got another note here. He also talks about, in regards to that purity, and again, you guys, here, go read the book yourself. It's called Miracles. This is just my take away from it. This isn't gospel. I'm not quoting anything out of the book. I'm trying to reference how I interpreted it. May not be exactly as the book says. I may be distorting or tweaking it somewhere here or there. So, it's my attempt to do something positive in regards to Stuart Wilde in this book of miracles. I actually, I'm excited about the book. But anyway, in regards to the purity part, and we've talked about this off and on the past few months, is that our belief system needs to be, this is my word, impeccable. His word is without a doubt. Another word might be our belief system needs to be pure. There cannot be a crack in the door, no matter how minute that crack is. When I used to do clinical, I would tell people that exact thing, that I had a 7-step program, and it was 100% accurate. If you wanted to quit your addiction, come to me. I will walk you through the steps. And I would say that if your belief system in what I'm telling you is not 100% pure, there cannot be a crack in the door. And this program will work for you. That's what I used to tell people. Well, he's saying the same thing. Everybody else is saying the same thing. All the different programs we've been going through here the past couple weeks. That's where, what's the simple example? Lack. Somebody wants to have abundance. I don't know, make it up. Somebody wants $100,000. And they wonder how come they don't have $100,000. Well, their belief system is not impeccable. They think their thoughts are flawless and positive, and there's nothing sneaking by that could distort or erase the intention, right? Well, obviously there is thoughts sneaking by, and they are distorting the intention. And you're not ever going to manifest your $100,000 because you think you're doing it right, when in fact you've not prevented all the negative thoughts and emotions from slipping by. That's where these guys have you. They have you from the point of you can't make a mistake. Well, the reason it didn't work for you is that you made a mistake. He comes up with, and he talks a lot about the universal law. You'll hear other people talk about, the law. It's the law kind of idea. Well, they're talking about the universal law. The universal law is that there are certain things that must happen in the universe based on certain behaviors. And they've just been proven over and over and over and over and over again. And he goes in and talks about different kinds of occurrences that are part of the universal law. If you do good, you get good. If you do bad, you do bad. You get bad. Stuff like that. Stuff that is just really clear. And that's a large part of his book. And I probably ought to just do a podcast completely on universal law, because there's eons of information in that topic. He asks you to create a miracle action plan. And a miracle action plan is, again, how you perceive yourself in the future. The miracle is going to be that you're no longer the way you are, and that you are a new person. Again, change in personality, how you think, act, and feel. Same thing as other programs. And what you're striving for. Success, security, money, whatever it happens to be, a house, a truck, being able to pay your bills and all. So you have to build a miracle action plan, which is also like, as we listen to other programs, we have to be able to see ourselves already in the future healthy and a different person. And we need to envision that as if we've already achieved that. So to speak, we've crossed the river of change, thrown out all the old stuff, all the old disease, and we've become a new person. And we did not bring forward the disease. Right? I think that's pretty interesting. And again, more similarities, but we need to get a miracle action plan, as he called it. He talks about the universal law will not let you down. Everybody else does the same thing. They say the same thing. This is, I think Dr. Joe might reference to the words, it's the law. If you do this, this, and this, it'll happen. It's the law. We're always talking about universal law within all of us, within the universe. And the more that we trust in universal law, the more we'll get, the more we receive. And then he goes on to talk about, developing a picture of the new you. That's pretty much the same. Energy alignment, both with greater intelligence for your greater good, all of your energy centers, your body and mind, right? So again, there's more similarities. And then he goes on to talk about miracle list. Start off with practicing this on small things and then work your way on up from there. Let's see. Believe that we are healed. There's a point he was talking about this, and I guess I maybe elaborated more on it than he did, but if we're constantly working on program or programs for our healing of whatever, lack, disease, emotional, spiritual, doesn't matter. Aren't we in fact saying we are not well? So isn't it a contradiction? So, think about this for a minute. This is very, very important. Believe we are well. I walk around, this is me, to the best of my ability, believing that I am well. I can tell when my thoughts and emotions start surfacing with doubt, right? But even if I catch 100% of those, which I don't, I'm still constantly working a program to some extent, right? To be better. So as long as I'm working a program, I'm saying I'm not well, I'm not healed. So there's a contradiction there, and you end up never ever getting completely well. That makes sense to everybody? He talks about being well physically, mentally, and spiritually. Cannot entertain doubt. You have to live as if your prayers are already answered. Stop all negative thought and emotions. And how you pass through this environment, this evolution, is really up to you, and it's your choice. So here's a word that he coins for his program. He explains it in terms of we are in the process of evolution. Each one of us is in that process. And so our changing, he just has labeled as evolution. And we continue to evolve into the greater good, into our greater good. I have this. This is interesting. There are no incurable diseases, only incurable people. I leave you with that. So anyway, God bless everybody. Take care of one another, and look forward to talking to y'all again real soon. Thanks. See you. Bye.